single loss could still earn respect if it came with courage and resolve. In that environment, reputation wasn't built on records alone. It was built on moments, on whether you showed up when the stakes felt absurdly high. As fans, people didn't just consume those fights. They experienced them. They remember where they were, who they were watching with, and how the room reacted. Silence before knockout. Screams after one. Laughter mixed with shock. These weren't passive viewing experiences. They were shared emotional events. Modern combat sports rarely produce that same collective reaction, not because the athletes aren't incredible, but because the unknown has been narrowed. We understand the sport better now. We can predict outcomes more accurately. The rules guide behavior. The edges have been sanded down. And while that's undeniably good for the fighters, it changes how the audience feels. That doesn't mean the old days were better. It means they were different. They belonged to a moment when curiosity outweighed caution, and when the sport was still writing its own language. Every punch, every fall, every stoppage contributed to a vocabulary that fighters and fans still use today, even if they don't always realize it. The legacy of that era lives on in highlights, in stories passed down, and in the occasional matchup that feels just a little too risky to be comfortable. When those moments happen, people recognize the feeling instantly. A flash of the past. A reminder of what it used to be like when nothing felt guaranteed. And maybe that's the true value of looking back. Not to glorify the danger, but to understand the journey. To appreciate how far the sport has come and what it took to get here. To remember that behind every rule and every safeguard is a moment when someone learned a hard lesson in real time. Those early giants, those fearless challengers, and those unforgettable nights all played a role in shaping what combat sports are today. They were part of a necessary growing pain, a chapter that couldn't be skipped, even if it couldn't last forever. So when we revisit that wild era of early MMA and kickboxing, we're not just indulging nostalgia. We're honoring a time when the sport dared to test itself, when the outcome wasn't polished or predictable, and when the ring felt like a place where anything could happen. And if you've made it this far, chances are that part of you misses that feeling too. The shock, the danger, the raw honesty of it all. If that's the case, let us know what moments from that era still stick with you, and which fights you think could never happen today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned, because the stories of combat sports are far from over, and the past still has a lot left to teach us.